Okay, so now, Court, tell us about what Chris is going to talk about.
Um, our NAIA winter Zoom is tonight is Chris Dahlquist is talking about funding your art practice. And if you don't know who Chris is a uh, photographer based in Kansas City and does a lot of work with Mid America Arts Alliance, which covers the five-state area. Um, she really was heavily involved in creating Artist Inc. and has created some microloan programs and loan programs for artists. Um, so she's going to talk about funding tonight. She is very much very educated on the business end of art.
I'm
So,
missing Taco Tuesday because of that.
what was that, Oscar? I couldn't understand you. Oh, you
I'm missing
froze.
Taco Tuesday so I can listen to her tonight. So I think this should be a good one. I hope.
It will be.
Sharon, how's your Weavers group project?
Well, I have a couple irons in my fire. I have a couple fires burning here. Um, I just had an opening with a group fiber show about an hour from where I live, south on the coast, a place called Newport, Oregon. They have a visual arts center next door to the Performing Arts Center. And the director decided to have 5 separate fiber exhibits between the two buildings. And so she selected the artists, and I was in the main gallery with other fiber artists. And it was actually the most fun I've had in a long time. She pretty much turned the gallery space over to us to find the right space for all of our different and very diverse work. Um, and to set up an indoor show for me is quite different than an outdoor show. I have an army of dress dummies that I unbox because there's no way to hang clothing on the wall. It needs structure to, whether it's a single dress form or some system like a rolling rack, basically, but not a rolling rack, just to hang the heavier garments. And I really wasn't sure how the space was going to work out. But we had people who were reclaiming the fishing nets and crab boxes that are broken and thrown away almost on a daily basis because Newport is a fishing port. She takes all those materials and turns them into rugs and mats and art objects. So she was pretty fascinating. There were 2 tribal artists there with things that they had woven from area materials such as spruce roots, the fern stems, and pine needles, which was just exquisite work.
Nice.
We had Vince Settler from the Valley with his woven tapestries that were translucent, and so they were hung away from the wall, so they made all these beautiful shadows. And it just goes on and on. Susan Jones brought her baskets, and they are baskets like you would never imagine a basket. They remind me of forms that you would find in space. They were just really amazing forms. So for some reason, all of us, we just worked together really well. It was a nice give and take about, I think this would be better if it was this way. And it was, like I said, the most fun I've had in a long time. It took us a day and a half to get the whole show up. And 2 people were very enthusiastic about climbing ladders to get up high and hang things in the big space. And I always praised them and made sure there was a second person spotting them at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then the following Saturday was the opening reception from 1 to 4. And the weather has been absolutely mild. The ocean's been, it's, perfect for the crab fishermen. It's been clear, cold, and bright and sunny, not stormy, not freezing rain. So the reception was from 1 to 4. And in my experience in the past for these receptions, not a lot of people turn out for fiber events, but I was mistaken about this one. I couldn't believe how many people turned out. And it was kind of exciting to see that kind of support on the Oregon coast.
Mhm.
And part of it is the demographics of Newport, which has a performing arts center. They have operas and musicals. So there is a clientele there that isn't in my more smaller town up the road. So that was pretty exciting. I came home absolutely exhausted, but that's all good stuff. It really is. Working on the separate open studio tour group they're still in their infancy. And it is much harder to get the enthusiasm for the artists to come together. So we have some work to do this week, and we'll see if we can rally enough people to pull this off. But I think we're going to go ahead with it either way. But it's like I need the artists to realize that if we come together, we can have a fantastic event. And if they're just not certain about it, well, this is an opportunity to try. But they don't have a lot of experience in promoting their own work or even desire. And yeah, so we'll see. It's just a lot of work.
I bet it'll be fun to do something where, you have some artists that are doing 3D work and some artists that are doing 2D work, and to get it mixed and fill the walls and the floor space.
Yeah. And so we're all visual people, and it was just, we're speaking the same language. So it was really a delight, and nobody was territorial. Everybody was there, I've got this, you want to use that? And that was sort of loaning back and forth. It was so, again, the director picked the right people for a wonderful mix of the show.
Did everybody have their own space, or did you kind of mix all the artwork up?
Well, we kind of had sort of, some work is better suited because you could get the light for shadows. So it was over here, but it was mixed throughout the room. It wasn't entirely just in one alcove per artist or anything. And so they had this, it's a very tall ceiling. And of course, my display is more, person height, 6, 7 feet. And so we had this vast empty space above my display. And one artist looked at the other artist and says, "You still have that green fishing net in the back of the truck?" So they brought it in, and it was the same green as some of my jackets. And they did an artful display, so it looked like an abstract whale. It was perfect. It just kind of brought the space together. And that was fun.
The best thing is that a lot of people showed up.
Amazing. The room was packed. Yeah. And so for this show, I decided to be a mixed media artist. And I have been making these little QR codes and putting them on brooches, which go on some of the bigger jackets or coats. And this particular QR code is the inspiration or story behind the piece or the work. A lot of these I put up on Instagram or YouTube, and I thought, why not just see if these work? And so the whole theory is that if people are always going to art fairs with their cameras, they're probably savvy enough to look at a QR code and know what to do. So I had them printed up, and I also put them on little white canvas squares and posted them on the wall so that people could actually go up to it and interact with them. And in those QR codes, you have videos of me actually working in the studio. You have the interview that the St. Louis Art Fair did for some of the artists a couple of years ago. It was a great interview. Well done, well edited and published. So that's there so you can get the story behind the work, even if I'm not in the room. We'll see whether or not it's going to be successful. But I'm excited about it. I want to do more with them. I want to have them in my booth too.
I have a
This year.
friend who does, he starts with an AI generated image and then he goes in and modifies it. And these are not photographic images, these are just art images. And although he's a former photographer, but all of his images are jazz inspired.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he did his first gallery opening, we were talking about it, and I said, well, why don't you, because each piece is inspired by a specific piece of music.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why don't you put QR codes up that link to that music?
Well,
that
you have
link
to deal
directly
with
to
some,
that.
yeah, you have to deal with some royalty issues, which is the one of the things that I discovered along this path, that if I am going to use music from Instagram, it gets stripped if I download it and try to store it
Yeah.
somewhere else. So I go to YouTube and find something comparable that's free, and I don't have any issues with the royalty. In fact, if I really need the music, I'll pay for it if that's what
Yeah.
we need to do. But I did learn a couple things. It's just that Instagram wasn't going to just give it to you. That was hard.
I
Yeah.
think what he did is he found the songs online on like YouTube or someplace like that, and then he linked to the music that already existed online.
On YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the way to do it. And it gives credit to the artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I had fun looking at that kind of technology. I have this vision of a singer on stage, like an opera, in these, huge gowns. And wouldn't it be great if the QR codes were embedded into the skirts of the gown or the garments so that the audience with their phones could actually get a different background or different images as she's performing and singing these operatic songs. I don't really want to learn how to weave a QR code because I think it's kind of, there's going to be too many difficulties, but printing it, yes, there could be a way to print it on a transparent material and then use it with garments. So as you're walking down the street, there's all these other media things going on with the garment.
There
It's
is a company that is selling a t-shirt and sweatshirt with a QR code on it.
mm-hmm.
And I think when you open it up, it just says FU.
Oh, I'm not that frank, but I could be, I guess. Anyway, I like the idea, with garments at art fairs, people don't view garments the same way they do as paintings or pictures that are hung on a wall. When they see garments, their head changes and they think retail. So I'm just trying to find a way to convey to them that these particular garments are unique in a way that other garments are not. And it's a big part of what I have to do in the booth, talking to customers about why these garments cost what they do and why they're special. But it's kind of my mission, I guess.
Do you have
To do that.
video? Do you have a video that plays in your booth?
I have on and off, and it takes up wall space, but I used to hold my iPad and run some of those videos because they show where I live, and that's where people say, "Oh, I've been to Oregon, I've been to the beach," and isn't that lovely? They start to get it, but it is a little distracting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm maybe would be a little happier to have the QR codes next to the mirror so people takes up less space, but they're at a place where they could very easily access it or put it on the outside of the booth, something.
you should stick a QR code in the corner of your mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So if people are looking at wearing something, and they want to take a selfie of themselves in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
QR code's right there.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I like technology. I'm trying to make it work for me as a hand weaver. But thanks for asking.
No, it just sounded like it sounds great. I would love to be able to do something like that with different, you know, other artists that and be able to mix 2D and 3D and do something where all the art is mixed together.
It was nice to network while I was there at the opening. At least two of the people there were former community arts directors. One of them has a lot of experience doing shows on the East Coast. And it was just like an interesting conversation about wouldn't it be cool if we could take this group fiber show and have it go on tour somewhere on the East Coast where they don't even know that we exist, you know? and
Yeah.
and that was right up his alley. That's the kind of proposal grant writing that he's used to doing. And I don't think I'd ever had that brilliant idea before. So if the show was the right mix of artists, is to write it up as a proposal as a traveling show. So the work could travel and I could stay home.
That would be nice.
Yes, I am trying to
like
go
that.
down that path. Yeah.
I'm staring at the massive pile of stuff that's accumulated on my work table over the last several months, and I have to, it all has to go so I can start on my new projects.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So as a fabric artist, I have a lot of offcuts from cutting the bigger pieces. And I don't throw them away. I hold on to them. It's wasteful. It's too expensive to throw away the smaller pieces. But I have started to collaborate with a local quilter who's a friend, and I have a lot of respect for her, and I enjoy her company very much. We share the same vocabulary, so we get excited about the same kind of things. So I made a proposal to her and handed her 2 bags of my handwoven fabric scraps and said, let's see if we can come up with an innovative project that where we can use these scraps. And we're having more fun. It is a very healthy for both of us to use our background, our materials, our tools, and play with a different material and come up with something. And so off we go. We have these grand ideas, both small and large. And I'm finding a way where I can repurpose those smaller fabric scraps. It's fun.
In the, I haven't been, every time I go to my mother's house, I get sick. And so when I go at a month apart for Thanksgiving and Christmas, I wind up with sinus issues and my mind gets kind of fried. But we were talking about when we did our the winter Zoom we did about changing mediums.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple that go out and do the week or 3 month long art festival in Arizona, in the Phoenix area.
Mm-hmm.
There's two of them. And they talked about because all the artists that are there are encouraged to work
Right.
as part of their display. And they were talking about all these different artists in one space and being able to bounce ideas off of each other and
Mm-hmm.
how really productive it was for them.
Yeah, I could see that.
and they I can't remember their name. Uh, they got started because they were actually out in that area and visited uh, a gentleman that made hats, and they picked up the felt scraps. Um, that was the where you'd trim the hats,
Mhm.
and that's what they make their work out of.
Mm-hmm. Felt scraps. I think I know the artist, right?
So
Who
it
doesn't?
was, I thought that was really interesting.
And I had a great conversation with someone who makes paper because I'm kind of on this mission to use my leftover threads from the Juki sewing machine. It makes this fine um, thread dust, if you will, that I usually have to throw away. I said, wouldn't this be great if we had the right kind of glue? We could actually make another material just by gluing this all together. It's a kind of felting, but it's not wool, so it doesn't hold together quite like wool would. And I talked to one high school chemistry teacher, and he says, well, the chemicals you need to do that, to break those rayon fibers down and turn them into the goo that they make other rayon things from, is really, you need industry to do that and safety standards. But then I was talking to this fiber artist, and he said, no, you just need okra. Okra juice will do it. And I'm thinking, oh, great. How much okra am I going to need to have? Right. But it was fun to talk to another artist who would come up with a solution like that.
It was Brad and Sunday Rupert.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're really good people.
I thought about doing that Arizona thing at one time. But you have to bring everything.
Yeah. They called me up a long time ago and I explained to them there's just no way I'm moving a loom down there.
Well, I would need I would need a sink and a 220 line.
Mhm.
Even, let's say I bought a kiln and had it delivered there. And then I started thinking, oh, wait a minute. Now I need all my materials, you know,
Yeah.
glaze materials,
Yeah.
tools,
Clay. Yes. Right.
clay. The clay is the easy part.
Yeah. But it's heavy.
Yes. Well, just have it delivered.
Mm.
They seem to like it. They said they can do as much there, and that really cuts down on how many other shows they have to do. And it's, even though it's a long time and expensive to do, it's it's very profitable to do it that way.
I've heard that from a number of people that do it, have done it. You can do well.
And then somebody was telling me, what was there? Maybe it was them talking about they rent a storage locker year round there.
Mhm.
So when they tear everything down, their displays and everything, they just store in a storage locker nearby
No,
and then go pull it out and set it up.
that's a good idea.
I know, I think Terrell Powell goes in and rebuilds everything new every year.
And, and you can bring other work. You don't have to just sell what you make there.
Yeah.
You bring work, your own work to sell.
Anything else new and exciting?
The art shows coming up.
Let's see. I am doing you call it the Gathering of the Guilds in Portland, Oregon. It's held at the convention center. It's where all the area guilds take over the convention center and sell their work. It's very big for the potters. They call it the ceramic showcase. It's usually beautifully done. And then you'll see the Woodworkers Guild, the Weavers Guild, the Glass Guild, the Jewelry Guild, and sometimes the Sculpture Guild, metal sculpture. So I signed up to do that again this year. And then it'll be the open studio tour the end of May. And then July and August, off we go.
Well, I leave for Florida on Monday
Okay.
to do a number of Florida shows. Oscar's already there.
Yeah.
How many have you done? Have you only done the one so far, Oscar?
Yeah, I've only been here for 2 weekends, though. The first one that I did was Naples. It was just okay for me. Some people that did they have high-end items did really well. Um, like things that people they can brag about it, how much they cost, kind of items did really well. And this weekend I went to help friends in Bonita just to break down and set up and break down. And it was really slow for them. Or whether it was a slow show for a lot of people, it was not like your typical Bonita one that's supposed to be the most well attended, most energetic. It seems like it was really down for most people.
That
It
was
was
Naples.
no
Bonita.
Bonita.
Oh, Bonita.
Yeah, I had somebody telling me about their experience at Bonita this weekend, and it was not good.
It's been bad for a couple of years. I stopped doing it. I didn't do it last year.
I don't do any of them this year.
Yeah.
Maureen used to run the Naples with the art center took over. It might be improved in time, but right now the clientele is they were saying there was more like a little bit above Walmart clientele.
So
Oh,
what makes the difference? Is they not doing the advertising to get people there or what?
I
Karen,
think
it's
that
hard to
do it-
tell. It's
it's-
hard to tell if you're just an artist and you're not actually there watching what they're doing. I tried to figure that out also.
I don't think that they do enough advertising, to be honest with you. I think that they most of the shows down here, uh, outside of Howard Island and Gasparilla and Coconut Grove, they depend a lot on social media
Okay.
lists, and I don't know if they're hitting the right target. Also, the clientele in Bonita is getting
Older?
older, and they're not bringing. Well, it's Florida. You're not going to have that many young people, and the young people that are here, they're not going to be spending money. Now, Bonita has two new places. One next to it is like a bar type with music stage that might bring more younger people to the area. Also, there was a carnival going on at the same time of the show, but
Mm.
it didn't feel like it was. Some people was really happy, but you know, it's like any other show where you say to a person that $3,000, it might be an awesome show. For other people, it's a crap show. And but from what I saw, a lot of people there was like they felt like it was a waste of time.
Hmm.
So and Sarasota was more interesting for most people, but also the weather in Sarasota wasn't that great, but some people did pretty decent over there. So,
Yeah, I heard that they had it was a show which normally put artists back in the same spot every year. And so there were artists that had been in the same place every year after year after year, and nobody got their old booth this year. They moved everybody around.
yeah, that's because the reason I know who you talk. Uh, I know who you talk now. It's they they're building the new place and it's not finished, so they have to take some people out of the street. So they move some people around, and it's different management. So everything that you thought before is it's not going to be the same. And there's some things in the layout they had to change. Uh, so I don't know. We see,
Where are you talking?
Bonita.
What are they? What kind of construction are they doing?
Excuse me.
It's a bar. It's a bar concert place. So
So wait a minute. So that there already is a stage, like an amphitheater. Did they tear that down?
no, that's still there. They're building a bar, a real bar.
A bar
A
next to it?
bar. And opposite, the park, that they built the section. I don't know if you saw that. So they got the Mexican restaurant. Then you go south, they're building there a truck with a truck park, and they got a rooftop bar in there. Then comes the park from the show, and then the next lot now it's another bar with food and music. But it's not open yet. So they hope that by next year it's going to bring more people into the area. But once again, doesn't change that the crowd is coming to the show is an older crowd. And like it or not, if those people didn't move recently to the area, they will have most of the houses full. That's what I start noticing. Or they're looking for something for a particular space. But I don't know.
Just what I want, a bunch of drunks walking through my booth.
I was just going to say that.
Well, the problem is the detail is that you cannot take the liquor outside the bar.
No, but you can
But there-
drink. They get
but you
drunk
can
and then they walk outside.
In the middle of the day,
staggering.
I don't know because nobody knows the hours of the place. It could be a night thing. It might not be even affecting the show. So, who knows? The only thing you can say that they're trying to bring different crowd because they know that the crowd is coming. It's not supporting the show right now. At least they're trying. And that's the city. That's not the art show. So everybody's hoping for the best. That's the only thing I can say about it. I didn't do the show because I was thinking the show was going down the hill for me. And
For everybody.
and it was better for me to take the weekend off than doing the show.
Oscar, did you do Naples?
Yeah.
Which one?
The New Year's.
New Year's? Where is that located now?
It's in do you know where are you done the one in Naples National?
No, we did Naples when it was on Fifth Street.
So it is in the park by the art center.
Okay. Is that the one with the ball field that flooded a couple of years ago?
Last year, you mean? Yeah,
Was
but they
it-
don't use the baseball field anymore. They say they will not use that. That was a one-time deal and big mistake, and they will never do that again.
Gotcha. Was it a good show for you?
It was just okay for me. It was nothing special. I didn't lose money. I make a little bit of money, but know what I needed out of the show. No for $700 booth fee.
700 for the booth?
Yep. It's $700 for the booth. And then if you want to park close to the show, you have to pay another $75. And if you don't bring your own food, every meal is going to cost you $20 to $30.
Yeah.
So it gets and that's per person.
Yep.
So there's not that many, they give you some continental breakfast in the morning, but that's about it. There's really not that many booth sitters in the area, but the problem is, and with that show, the way I saw it, they got good attendance, but the people was not necessarily buying my work. Or there was a painter next to me. They only saw one painting, and that was on Sunday at 4:30, and the show ended at 5. The girl next to me was selling um, animal pictures, and she did a killing. But it was paintings of dogs and reproductions and fine art items. But she had a good show. Uh, then my friend that does jewelry, he did okay. And Craig, the photographer, I think he did okay also. I think that we both end up about the same. There was a guy in front of me with a 10 by 10, but it looked more like a 10 by 20 because they have all his band spread out in the floor outside. They had handwritten tags, retail price this, show price this, this discount band. It was just a joke.
Where
And I
was
think
that? In Naples?
in Naples.
God, I'm glad I didn't go. I don't go to those.
So it was really disappointing to see that. And they didn't do anything about it, and I didn't say anything about it because, quite honest with you, it didn't matter at that point. The guy was up, and then I was going to take him down. He said that was his second show ever done, and Dick Cunningham, me, Paul, it's a jeweler. I forgot his last name. We all told him that he cannot be doing that. But he was no really blocking traffic, so we didn't. It looks bad, but it wasn't affecting the traffic flow. So nobody really bitched too much about it, because it's also said the director didn't say anything to him about it. So if the director doesn't say anything to them, who are we to be complaining about it? So
What?
It's just not good form.
it's
Why would it not be good to talk to the director and tell him what you think?
because if the director the director passed 5 times to pass him and never say anything about it.
Well, he's not going to say anything until you say something to him, till a bunch of you say, "What's this doing here?" And he's
Well,
still not going to do anything, but maybe it'll change next year.
he-
I'll tell you
well,
what's going to happen. Really good people are looking at that and going, "I'm not coming back here." And
Mhm.
this has happened 99% of all shows that have gone downhill,
well,
which is 95% of all the shows. And then so good artists don't go back. And then the next year it's even worse. And then you get, it's even more Walmart crowd, and then less good people do it. And then eventually it's a little above a flea market.
my opinion is
And that's how it goes.
people that brag about how many shows they put, how many events they put in the area, how long the show's been here. They call themselves seasoning directors, so people they know what they're doing. Me saying anything to them, I'm the one that's look like I just whining and complaining, and people like that is like I think they if they believe that they know better than you, the only thing you can do is just finish the show and don't do the show ever again. That's
Yes.
it.
And that's why I don't go to back to Naples.
You know.
There's a show every weekend in Cane Beer Park. So it's nothing special. Oh, I won't go this week. I'll go next week. Whereas opposed, if there's like a really, really good show, you might go, well, I'm not going to go this week because that really, really good show's next week, and that's where I'm gonna spend my money.
Or they go to, or they wait until, or they look at the other thing that I'm noticing is like you get them in the first show, and then they go. Basically, some people have told me that they go to the Naples show, the New Year's, they go to the Bonita, then they go to the Fishman Park, then they wait until Bonita 2 again, assuming there's not a Howard or Patty show in between there. Then they go to Naples National. Then they go back to Bonita 3, and then they finally buy the stuff in the last Naples, and maybe a heavy discount because they know that the artists are leaving town, and that's the last show for the season.
But I don't think people that do all those other shows, like if you do Naples National, you don't go to the other show. You do one or the other.
No, there are people that do all three Naples.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah,
Sounds
Oscar,
like it's oversaturated.
but when you decide not to go back to a show, do you ever tell the show?
Uh, Only they really piss me off.
Or you can't do that because maybe a
You
couple
gotta,
years later you might feel differently and you want to go back. So you don't really say anything. At least that's how it is for me.
I
Although
think like I can tell you for sure, I will not do shows with Amy Amder. I can say that. I'm not saying that she doesn't run the shows, or I just don't like the politics, and I don't want to be put in my. I don't like to put myself in a situation where I know I can fail, and that's what she does.
I said that 20 years ago about
So
Amy Ander.
so I don't do shows. It's the same reason when right now finding with images, hoping that they move me because they got a little section of 8 artists that should not be there, and I'm in one is talking one of those 8 artists. I called twice already, sent a couple of emails, and they're not respond to me. And yes, it's only $375, but I don't want to drive over there to be in a spot where I'm going to zero out.
Yeah, well, you can't look at it like it's only $375 because it's not. It's your
I
hotel,
know,
it's your
It's
travel.
way more. Yeah.
I know, I know.
It's $1,375.
Maybe, hey, Oscar, maybe those are the premier spaces.
No, I doubt it. Because I already talked to a couple other artists. They told me I need to get moved. If not, just don't set up and go home.
which of Amy's show don't you, did you do?
I used
Well,
to do
you did.
all indie shows, but the last one that I did with her in Port Clinton, it was the one that broke the camel. So I just don't. I cannot. I cannot. I would really want to see ACDC next May when they hit Chicago. But I'm worried that if I go there, my ears are going to be ringing really bad because every time I now to really loud music, my ears are ringing, and that's not happening after the show with Amy.
Because of
So,
the band. Yeah.
so I don't going to. I don't know if it does directly, but that's when I start noticing the problem. So,
I got to run. I've got to go back and work on my dishwasher some more. It's now in more pieces than it was yesterday.
it's still, you
And
can still call the technician.
yeah, I was gonna say, and next week you're gonna say, "Oh, I finally broke down and called a plumber."
No, I think it's probably cheaper just to go and buy a new one. If
Uh, Actually, we looked at it and it with the repair cost for what they thought it was, it's not that. It would have been cheaper to replace it.
Wow.
So,
Oh,
all right, we'll see everybody next week.
yeah.
Hopefully, somebody
Hey,
tonight.
Court, take it
Bye.
easy. Always a pleasure.
Hope to see you tonight.
Yeah, but that's my take about it. About there's some directors that you should not be have to tell. They know better.
They all know better.
You know,
Oh,
you
wait, I
Now
shouldn't
they
take
tell
that
me.
don't.
back.
They don't know better.
That's true. Some have no clue, actually.
Right.
Or some of them don't want to know better.
Now, what they need to do is try it out on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
They're not
I-
foolish. They're not gonna do that.
but it is. There's nothing you can do about it. And the other thing is, if you start complaining, too much about it, then they tag you like a complainer or never satisfied, and then what they do, they blackball you, so you don't get into the show anymore. So even if they don't, uh, even they don't tell you you are, so
They can't, it's not legal. They can't do that. They can be sued.
yeah. But it's one thing getting proved that actually that's I think that the only person that got away with that was the that I know was the thing with Patrick. He didn't even injure some people, and they SAP forced them to refund the money to people. But
I got my application feedback from a director who it was obvious that they didn't even look at my images.
yeah, that they should do that automatically. To be honest with you,
They ended up firing that person, and they're firing that person's boss. So I got my revenge that way.
we might get a nice sunset tonight.
We've had some amazing sunsets. Unfortunately, it's because of the fires.
Yeah.
It's affecting the sunsets. Yeah.
It's all the way up to you guys also.
Oh, yeah. They actually sent some
Well,
of the
this
fire trucks from our county, and a couple other counties on the coast are all headed down to California. They're probably there already, but yes, seems like everybody's trying to help.
Yeah, because I don't think that we going God, God help us.
Well,
And
the smoke goes all the way down, about 2/3 down Baja California.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And there's been at least one big Mexican firefighting unit that came up.
They've come
That's
from
great.
Mexico, they've come from Canada, they've come
Yeah.
from Israel, they've come from
Ukraine is
Africa. Firefighters. They're coming
Isn't
from
that
all over the
amazing?
world.
Yeah.
Ukraine is so.
it is crazy.
I
But we see,
talked to I talked to Amos Amit. I don't know if any who knows him, but he was saying that it was basically about 8 miles from his house, but at one point it was 2 miles from his house. But then the winds died down and they contained that fire, but it's picked up lately. So I haven't talked to him, but I saw that he posted on Facebook today, so it couldn't have been that bad for him, because at least not at the moment. Hey, all of LA could burn down.
that would not be good. That would not be good. I know that some people will be really happy about it, but that would not be good. Because that can happen, you know. I just think the people are short-sighted. Something else can happen in a different area and be equally or worse. When you start wishing things like that to other people, it's not going to end good for anybody else,
Nope.
you know. So, okay. But this week I got Naples Invitational. The weather seems to be nice, and hopefully it will be a good show.
And I have 3 days where it's going to warm up over 25 degrees so I can finish firing, pack on Sunday, and leave on Monday.
For Florida.
Yes. If I can get my vehicle started on Monday, because it's supposed to be below zero for
Oh,
the first
boy.
time this year.
Where in Florida are you going, Barry?
All over.
Oh, okay.
mostly on the Gulf side, but then well, no, actually, it's different this year, isn't it? I'm going to New Smyrna Beach, that's on the Atlantic side, and then Coconut Grove a few weeks later.
You're missing Mandora.
Oh, well, that's right. Well, that's up north. Well, I didn't say everything. I wasn't going to say every show that I'm doing, you know.
Yes,
Why
you like
not?
to brag about it. He's saying like
Come
he's
on, I
doing
want to know.
Indians, then Mandora, and then he's going to do take the weekend off and go to Guatemala, and then come back to do Coconut Grove, and then the next week going to fly to Aruba, and then come do Gasparilla.
No, he's going to fly to
I'm
Los Angeles and volunteer.
I'm gonna fly to Guatemala if my friend makes it back there.
Oh my God.
Not Aruba.
Cancun.
Hey, load your thing in the back. Load your sweater in the back. Turn around. Turn around. Now load the sweater. Come over here.
Who are you talking to, Oscar?
Himself.
He's one of his cats.
No. Jesus. Turn around. You need a full mirror. Oh, I will let you walk away like that.
Is that Steve? Is
Yeah,
Steve
there
still
you go.
lurking around?
Oscar's missing you. He's treating me like his boyfriend, which is you.
I thought both you guys were gay. You know.
You know better than us.
Not that not that there's anything
Touche.
wrong with
That was a good one, Steve.
Go Commanders.
No chance.
Oh my goodness.
You want to place a friendly bet on that one?
I don't betting anything.
Okay, he said go Commanders. Uh, Everybody knows that I'm a rabid Lions fan, and so it's Washington against Detroit next on Saturday night. So that's what that meant.
Saturday night.
Yeah. Hey, Larry,
Yeah.
did you ever resolve that issue with the guy that wanted some sort of clarification?
Yes. Actually, I had two issues and I fixed both of them.
I didn't have anything nice to say, so I couldn't.
No,
I
I
didn't
called
understand.
Bonnie and I went over them together.
That's good.
Oh. So got a question for you. Uh do you if I'm doing a double booth, will you be okay with the side walls being in one color and the back walls being a different color?
You're asking me?
Everybody.
You know,
Well, it wouldn't bother me because I'm in my booth. I'm not even looking at your booth, so I don't care.
he's talking. Are you talking about for the picture for jurying?
No, like undo this is my problem. I got
Yeah.
a double 10, but I cannot find I don't want to buy 6 new Mombi panels because that's going to be $1,500.
Yeah.
And I can probably find a set of dark gray for half of that.
Wait,
Then the Mombi
are you
but
talking about pro panels or are you talking
pro
about
panels, pro
pro
panels.
panels? Oh, okay, that's
So if
different.
I do a 10 by 20, I will put the dark grays as the back wall.
What color are your regular panels?
Mombi.
Oh,
Who?
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam.
Moon.
What color is
Moon.
that?
It's like a really light gray.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think you're all right.
You do whatever you have to.
No, that's what I'm thinking
And if
about doing.
anybody says anything, tell them you're trying to earn enough money to buy new panels.
Yeah,
So
Put out a tin can and say
Right, right.
tips
The
for
tip jar.
or you could do a GoFundMe. You know, you could take a picture of the booth and go, I can't afford to finish my booth with having it the right. So please donate to my GoFundMe account.
Actually, I I got a those ballot boxes. So I use that to put now the the registration, like the field information. They can drop it in there. So and I open it later on. I also going to I should put a little sign. If you like a word, put $1.
$1
I
admission. There you
I
go.
did that. Hey, Oscar, I put out a tip jar at Ann Arbor one year,
Uh-huh.
and I actually got $13.
Oh my goodness.
And I almost said to somebody, "Oh no, I'm just joking." But then when I went to put the money in there, I decided, "Nah, I'll keep the money."
I'm not saying a word.
Yeah, right. That's what I did.
Across, I think that I will try to do that in a show like Ann Arbor or one of the guild shows because I think I can get away with that. But the other ones, no.
Oh, you can get away with it.
Oh my God.
People would just talk among themselves.
Oh
You see the guy with the two different colored panels in his booth?
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh
Well, if you do it right, it'll look intentional.
no, I think I can do it
You
intentional.
should alternate them.
Yeah.
No,
That's
no,
right.
no,
That's right.
no, no,
Stripes, like
no.
There you
stripes.
go.
Yeah.
That
That's
would
what
be
you do.
horrible.
Because the last, I don't know, several years, interior designers, they do one wall an entirely different
Yeah.
color in your living room.
Well, that's been going on for a while, but
Yeah,
it's
well, you're just doing it in your booth now.
Hey,
yeah.
Larry, you
Yeah.
should get some black panels and then do every other one, like
Right.
light
Well,
gray, black, light gray, black.
but
No,
no,
I
you should
know.
get half panels and then do a checkerboard.
That's right. That's even better. Oh, oh. Let's really scare them. Let's really chase them away. That's great. Oh, I love it.
Do they come in red or blue or anything?
I'm pretty
Don't,
sure you can get it if you ask them, but it will cost you a pretty penny.
don't you think
Fabric
black and white is enough? Or black
fabric
and
paint
gray?
would work. Just spray them fabric paint.
Oh
No,
no,
it won't work.
it won't stick.
It'll rub off.
Yeah. Well,
Well, Oscar,
yeah.
we've got 10 black pro panels. They're 8 footers,
Mhm.
and I've got 3 dark gray ones. So we're kind of right there with you. We'll do a 10 by 10 with the black, but if we like when we go back to like in Spoleto, we'll have it's basically a 10 by 14, so we can use the gray panels as wings on the back end of the booth. So we do it.
I can't get past seeing those squares.
I also need to come out with realistically one 3 new images for the booth. So I'm in hot pressure now. Like I need to go out and take pictures, and I need to come out with 3 really good ones.
Ah,
I wanted to order like 2 or 3 black pro panels, and when I called them, they said, if it's cheaper to order, like 5 or 6 if you really wanted to, because the shipping is just about the same.
Yeah,
And I
that's
thought, yeah, and I said, well, you know what? We probably will do it at this year in 2025. I'd like to get another. I'd like to get another 4 panels.
I think that uh I I know I can probably get away with I need 3 for sure, but then it will look, then it will be, then I will have to buy them one be. If I wanted to do the 2 colors, I need at least, I would say 5.
Where
You
do
know,
you live?
that's the problem in Chicago, and I cannot find nobody in Chicago selling the color that I have. Everybody has. That's what I was thinking. Like I should just go and get whatever is out there and
Yep.
just do the 2 colors because it's not going to.
You could do one of each color and have people that want to buy pro paddles come in your booth and choose a color.
Mm.
Well,
And
that's not-
order from yeah, have the samples. You know, Oscar, I don't even notice the color of your pro panels. I just see the work,
Why
But
are they
that's
driving with
because
the back door
which is a
open?
positive.
that's because it's uniform, it won't stand out.
Yeah,
You think that's it?
Yep.
yeah.
I think because the work covers mostly everything.
Well, yeah, his
Well,
pieces are bigger than
You can't see anything. Oscar, if he has a postage stamp space, he finds something to put there. So
oh, it's
actually,
not-
Oscar,
Good.
just call Pro Panels and ask him how much just to buy the carpet.
And
yeah.
just recarpet them.
No, but I still need the no. I can do that. It's hot. The carpeting for like if I want to replace sooner or later I'm going to have to replace all the panels because those panels are almost I would say 10, 15 years old because I bought them used. And I really should replace all of them. But that would be a lot of money.
No, you could just buy new carpet.
No, because I need to replace the foam inside. It's also bad.
Oh,
You know, I can take the carpet out and it's still I can go to Home Depot and buy the insulation foam
right.
and reattach everything. But it's half what it costs you the panel costs you $200. The carpet costs you $100.
Yeah. But
That-
you don't have to pay for all that shipping.
That's true.
That's what kills you.
Or just wait till you do a show in Texas.
Oh, I'm not going there this year. I didn't even know. I honestly I don't know. I applied to the shows in Texas. I got listed to most of them and or rejected. And after the election, I was glad that I got listed or rejected from all the shows in Texas. So I just don't want to deal with that. I want to see how things go before I go to any of those freaking states.
yeah, I've been getting waitlisted from Texas too lately,
So
or this year, last year actually.
Well, isn't Florida pretty bad? I mean, as far as political leanings?
yeah, but you don't
Florida's
have
different.
Florida is different. You don't feel like the tension of the immigrants in here. Like like every half of the population is Hispanic. Let's put it to you this way. So, you know,
You're talking about Florida?
Florida.
Yeah.
And did you not have the immigration, same scale immigration problem as Texas, Arizona, and California, where people are crossing the border constantly? Legal, no legal, whatever they want to call it, you know.
You know, I don't know. Maybe it's my naivete, but when people go to an art show, are they really worried about? Okay, so they walk up
It's
to
not.
they
It's not
walk up
the.
to a booth and they're looking at your art. So they look at you, but they look at your art, and I'm thinking that most of the clientele don't give a crap what your ethnicity is.
No, I'm not
I
talking about. I'm not talking about. Just to let you know, I'm not talking about the at the show. I'm talking about get to the show, like
you mean traveling?
the traveling part. Like in 2017, I got pulled over in Texas, and I was asked for my passport.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not shitting you.
Jesus, I swear to God. You know,
And you said, I don't have a passport, I'm a citizen.
No, I do have. When I go to Texas, I always carry my passport.
Yeah. I always carry,
golly.
listen, I carry my passport with me also,
Yeah, that's because Texas is a foreign country.
no matter
Basically,
where I go.
Lone Star Republic.
That'd be that
no,
would
there's
make it
no.
Mexican.
Yeah, it's just like if you go to there's some parts like when you take I-10 gets too close to the border, you should if you should regardless of your if you're white or black or whatever, you should really be carrying your if you're that close to the border, you should be carrying your passport. That's my personal opinion. It's not it
Well,
doesn't have to
at
do
least
anything with
for
race.
at least for San Diego, a lot of the legal and semi-legal immigrants that are coming over are not Mexican. That hasn't increased at all. In fact, it's probably decreased. It's a lot of Chinese, mainland China.
Really.
Yeah.
I just think that they just it was funny because when my cousin wasn't here, he's basically it's a protective for the president of Panama,
Mm.
in charge of that. And they was talking about the biggest problem that they have in Panama is not the people from Colombia, it's the people from Venezuela. And they really want to, if they were allowed, they will be shooting all of them down and don't let them even cross because they're destroying the country. And at some point they got so tapped out that you start sending people up north because they cannot keep taking more people. They got there's a forest at the very end that looks like you can walk now. There's a clear path where you can walk now from Colombia all the way to Panama City. So it's pretty. If you think it's bad over here, it should really be, you should have to see the problem that Panama and Costa Rica are having with all those people. Oh,
Now, there's a rancher here. The border fence like cuts through what I guess the edge of his land, but there's like a big stack of boulders there, so the fence kind of stops there. And
mhm.
people have pulled it back and are going into his land and camping. And a lot of them seem to be Chinese. And they cut down his trees and then they trash the place.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem that they have in Panama. That they're trashing everything around and they cannot deal with that anymore.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
he can't deal with it. And, the border agents are just watching them go through. And said every once in a while, passenger van comes through and picks up a bunch of them and they leave all their trash behind and then he has to pick it up.
And fix the damn fence again.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
he can't even do that because it's something international or whatever, but it's just a chain link fence. So, yeah, the Chinese go to Ecuador because you don't need a visa to go there. And then from Ecuador, they fly into uh, somewhere lower in Mexico. I'm not sure exactly where. And then they take cars or whatever up to near the border and then walk across.
It's just crazy.
So,
But we'll see what happens.
yeah.
But other than that, everything is going well. I'm going to start taking pictures hopefully tomorrow and see what happens from here on. But I got a better plan what to do now. Well,
So
I'm
what's
going
your
to let
next
you
show, Oscar?
Naples Invitational this weekend.
The Invitational. Okay. Are
And
you going to um, Winter Park?
no, I didn't get into that one.
Okay. Barry, did you get it? Are you going that one?
Very
I'm leaving after Fort where am I leaving? After
Gasparilla.
Gasparilla.
Oh, Gasparilla. Okay.
I got stuff to do when I get back. I need some
Well,
time.
we need some time.
Yeah.
Hey, Barry, are you planning to apply to Brinton?
Who? Oh, Brighton?
Yeah.
Um, between you and me, Oscar, I don't really apply to those shows. I just wait till if I can do it like a couple weeks before, and I talk to the
To
people I
Lincoln.
really know well, and I say, if there's a space, will you let me in?
Okay.
I can't commit to those events like Birmingham. I don't want to commit to Birmingham until I know about Belleville or
But
whatever else
Belton's
is.
already out, and it's different weekend.
No, I know. It doesn't matter. Well, if I'm on the wait list, so I still want to wait. And there's other ones, the Kansas City one that I never get
Brookside.
into. Yeah, Brookside. There's a bunch of May shows, and then so I don't want to, like if I got into nothing and I thought I needed something, then I would talk to them and I'd get a space.
Mm.
One of the benefits of doing this for a long time is you get to know everybody, and you can do that. You can ask, if there's a space.
Yeah. Plus, your category is not that competitive. Also.
It's the most competitive.
No, it's
It's the
not.
best people.
Oh wow.
Hey, anybody can take a photograph.
Uh,
Everybody's got a camera.
oh, everybody has a camera. Doesn't mean that they know how to use it.
That's true. I agree. I didn't say I didn't say they knew how to use it, but everybody has it and they all think they're artists. So, yeah.
Okay, people. I'm going to let you go because I need to chill out for a little bit. It's kind of cold.
Yeah. Is it 5 o'clock yet?
Oh, it's after.
5:30.
Okay, let's go. Hey, I want to mention something about technology.
Mhm.
Karen's got the new iPad, which has the camera follows you. So when she was walking back, it kind of undulated. Did you guys notice that? The,
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
the new iPhone has the same camera.
Yeah, kind of
that's the
cool.
only reason when I'm thinking about getting the new iPhone. Also because also the new iPhone has AI already built in, which I think is
What
I
does
bet
that
that
mean?
helps a lot.
What does that mean?
It means if you were in school, in college, and they needed a paper because you didn't,
Right.
for the next day, you could have AI write the paper and you could print it out and turn it in like it's your own.
I know you have to still. Well, at least I don't use it that way. Then I put it to you. It's a lot to do with the user. I use it more to proofread what I write down.
Yeah, but it'll change the words that you write down.
But you can re-edit it afterwards.
Yeah, but there's some words. To me, the biggest thing for me is to fix my grammar.
Yeah.
That's what I use it the most. It's not spelling, it's grammar. The grammar
Hmm.
is what I use it. Is that's what the part that I really care. And when I write it down, it makes it's an and and a tone and more easy reading.
And punctuation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I use it. I don't have no shame to say that I use it because that's what I use. I use it to correct my grammar and more than anything else.
I've been doing a lot of writing this year for various board meeting minutes and stuff, and I use the free version of Grammarly, and
Mhm.
it's actually improved my writing, and I now know what I consistently make where I make errors, usually with
Mhm.
commas,
Hmm.
but it's really made the writing stronger and more clear because
Yeah.
I'm using
Hmm.
it. Mhm.
Is it more
Well, the
like, well,
commas
that's what I
depend
wanted to say.
the commas depend on what your background is. There's the Oxford comma versus whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I
I
tend to
you know
add one every two words, I think.
I've been good with commas.
the one thing that always trick me is that they always say you put a comma before and. And I go like, since when?
Not always.
You know,
It depends on how many things you're connecting.
And
really? So
Mhm.
yeah,
oh, and
Red, comma, blue, and
comma.
green.
Yeah, but sometimes the Grammarly does like a blue comma, yellow comma, red comma, and white. So I'm going like, why you put a comma before the and?
No, I don't think you put the comma before the and.
Yeah,
I
yeah, you
do.
do.
Oh, okay. See, there you go.
you
And
do?
after the and.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
No.
for the and.
Okay.
Well,
Oh,
we'll come back next time and solve that particular grammar issue. Right.
okay.
We'll have an English major come in and correct us.
Yeah, we need one.
All right.
Be
Good night,
good.
all.
All
Be
right.
good.
See you.
You mean
Hey, happy
between
New Year
all
to
of us,
everybody. What?
between all of us, we're not English majors?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So,
Well, be the best you can be all week.
All right.
Okay. Be
Till
good.
next time.
Bye,
I
everybody.
just want to get some pots fired really nicely.
Yeah.
I got
All
3
right.
days. 3 days.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Karen, thanks for the birthday wishes.
Yeah. My birthday's in January too. I get
I
it.
knew-
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
See ya.